Why is ethereal open Pisces so drawn to the dark intensity of Scorpio? Why is this combination so powerful when they come together in a romantic sense? Have you ever tried to figure that out? Have you experienced it before? Well, you will love this topic because that's what we're going to be talking about. Why Pisces and Scorpio are so drawn to one another, these energies. So if you're curious, stick around. I have a nice story at the end. Hey everyone, this is Mina. Welcome back. I am really excited to talk about this topic because it's fascinating, because Pisces and Scorpio are undeniably drawn to one another, and when things are good, they work so well. It really is a match that is unmatched in the zodiac wheel, in my opinion. As a Pisces sun, I think this, and I have studied this combination extensively, and I'm very excited to share my thoughts with you on the topic. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, if you've ever been in a relationship with the Scorpio-Pisces dynamic, you'll probably like this. Or if you're just curious, stay along for the ride and let's get started. First, it's important to note that Scorpio energy is very penetrating, and this is very important. This is the tool that it needs to have to really get to Pisces. It's ruled by Pluto, the planet of death and transformation, and also Mars, physical drive, willpower, war, aggression. Such a passionate and powerful combination, paired with the element of water, which is emotion, and fixed quality, meaning stubborn, set values, not going anywhere. It's a very fixed, intense love energy that emits from Scorpio. This is where all those attractive, intense vibrations come from. And they're ruled by the Scorpion, who has that little stinger. So they can truly, unlike any other sign, penetrate this magical armor that Pisces shields itself with to protect its image and protect its energy around people. It's the Neptune fog, and Jupiter, the co-ruler of Pisces, makes that fog even bigger, more magical, and thicker to even navigate through, which provides Scorpio with a very exciting challenge in that way. The ocean is going everywhere, and it has no beginning or end. You can't pick it up and grasp it. It is mutual, all over the place, all-encompassing love. That is Pisces. Scorpio is one of those energies that, because of that fixed water quality, it wants to find one person to give all that intense love to, and they will go for years in their search because they're looking for something special. They're looking for a diamond, and they kind of like that Pisces is a wallflower. Like if you think of a high school dance, Pisces is probably the person leaning on the wall while everyone else is being active. No one's noticing them because they're not center stage like Leo. They hang back and they're flying under the radar, with that fog, basically. They're not used to being seen and paid attention to in that Leo way. And Scorpio kind of likes this because that increases the value of Pisces, and they are also observant. Scorpio is almost like a sniper. Chances are they've been observing this Pisces person for a while, and they see this capacity that Pisces has to love people, like the never-ending well of love that they give out, the self-sacrificing. And Scorpio thinks, oh, this person can suffer for love. And as sinister as that sounds, like Scorpio individuals like people who can take pain with the pleasure. They want to see how deeply people can love them, like through dark things. So they're very attracted to that part of Pisces. And once Pisces notices that Scorpio's lurking around the corner, because they're very sensitive to energy, and they see all that laser-like focus on them, it is like a big attractive shock, because Pisces isn't used to being noticed in the way a Scorpio notices people. Because think about the famous Scorpio gaze. It is intense, heavy eyes on you, looking into your soul. Pisces is not used to that, and Pisces can get really enamored with all of this intense focus and attention on them, and it can start to fall pretty quickly because of it. So once they get going, Scorpio is not like I said, it doesn't mind the fog. That's just a psychological challenge because they're detectives. They're the psychological detectives of the zodiac. And they are very willing to navigate that fog because they see that Pisces is a potential diamond, a potential love source for them for the rest of their lives. Because usually Scorpios like to love one person forever. And they see Pisces as a very strong candidate because of their huge capacity to love. And they also are attracted to the vulnerability of Pisces because that makes them feel more powerful. It makes them feel needed. It brings out a protective urge. Like they want to protect Pisces from being used by people because Pisces is kind of famous for being exploited for their good qualities and oftentimes will just sacrifice themselves for the greater good type of thing. And this really does make Scorpio want to grab a hold of them and protect them from that. So Scorpio can see past the images and fantasies Pisces is projecting. Of course, they were probably drawn in by that because it's a beautiful projection. But they want to know the shadows lurking behind all that light. And if a Scorpio wants to know something, they're going to get the information. Even with evasive Pisces, they will have the patience to really crack them. And not only do they crack the Pisces code and figure out who they really are, if they're really set on loving them, they will show Pisces that they love them as a complete actual person with the light and the dark parts of their personalities. And I like to call this like the Pisces transformation because you know Pluto likes to transform things. It likes to make things die that don't serve us and we're reborn from that death. So it's like Pisces falls from being this perfect angel and becomes Scorpio's dark angel and gets loved in this complete psychological sense. And there's maybe a lot of pressure taken off from a Pisces person because they don't feel like they have to live up to all of these unrealistic images. They can just be loved for who they are. And this in turn inspires Pisces to love the Scorpio individual with a lot of vigor and intensity as well. And you know, Neptune does dissolve and loosen hard and dark things and people. Pisces can see through people, maybe not in the Scorpio way, but Pisces can see the good, the potential good in people like none other. And they see a lot of that in the Scorpio individual because of the Scorpio's dedication to them. And because of that, they are over time trying to dissolve these walls that Scorpio puts up, you know, to protect themselves, to not let people know too much about them, the darkness in them. And over time, once the Scorpio is like set on this Pisces, the Pisces has passed the famous Scorpio test, they will allow Pisces to penetrate those walls with Neptune and, you know, and Jupiter to understand this darkness, and all this love from Pisces will pour into those dark corners of Scorpio. And the Scorpio individual can feel regenerated and transformed, like have a lighter emotional load because of that. So in turn, not only is the Pisces addicted to this love combination, Scorpio is equally addicted. And they have a deep need, like maybe some people would say codependency, but a deep need for one another because the energies just keep healing and regenerating each other once they come together. And they're also like, because they're working through light and dark psychologically within themselves, they're oftentimes very good at keeping each other's secrets. Like they're safe places for each other that way. Through this process, when Pisces is trying to penetrate the Scorpio, you know, they might face the stinger, but Scorpio chose this Pisces because they know that they can endure pain for love. And Pisces sees the good in Scorpio, so they will take the pain and they will give the famous Neptunian forgiveness to this Scorpio. In turn, probably will inspire some generosity in Scorpio to lighten up. Because Pisces is so forgiving with Scorpio's outbursts at times, they will pay them back twofold with even more intense passion and love, and will often, you know, feel lighter and maybe a little bit more understanding instead of unleashing the stinger all the time. So Pisces enduring the Scorpio stinger is just like making the Scorpio love them even more and even more intensely. So Scorpio really appreciates that part of Pisces, that tender forgiveness and understanding, because they love and they get off on the fact that Pisces sees the light in them and is not so consumed with the dark. Because a lot of times Scorpios are only liked for that dark intensity, and no one cares to dig for the light and good parts in them, but a Pisces definitely will do this for them. Jupiter is also backing up this Neptunian forgiveness, because Jupiter is a big picture energy, and Pisces sees the big picture, that Scorpio is a good person despite these outbursts, so that just inspires even more forgiveness in them. Scorpio loving Pisces in that very complete way as a dark angel, a real person of equal parts of light and shadow, shows Pisces that Scorpio values the truth over anything, which can kind of help Pisces not be so evasive, because when Pisces is very evasive, it kind of makes Scorpio very paranoid. But in turn, Scorpio, if they've chosen this Pisces individual, they know that Pisces is a good person because they are so loving and forgiving and endure the ups and downs of life with them, which makes them more understanding than they would be normally with someone else, which makes the Scorpio person more likely to be understanding with that Pisces, because this is a passionate combination. So both are willing to work things out emotionally with one another, no matter how intense it gets. So basically, Pisces and Scorpio feel such a deep pull and need for one another, because they're regenerating and healing all the time when they're interacting with each other. They're constantly transforming in that way and becoming and renewing themselves. And they have a psychic connection, you guys. A Scorpio and Pisces person can just look at each other in the eyes and understand what one another is feeling and thinking when they get close like that. And that bond is just really hard to come in between, and it feels like fated, meant to be in that way. So basically, Scorpio and Pisces can see each other, they can understand each other, they can connect with each other and renew themselves and regenerate and transform all together like no other combination in the zodiac. And they trust each other. They trust each other with their secrets and their darkness and all of that stuff, which is so important for water signs especially. And that forms a deep sense of intimacy, which when the individuals get physical can take that to the next plane. It's next level physical intimacy, and with this physical intimacy comes a lot of healing wounds, and wounds that don't even need to be spoken. Like, it's just the physical act of these two coming together is so healing in that way, and this physical part just takes it to the next level. It feels like a merging of souls in that way. As a Pisces sun, I have had intense encounters with Scorpio individuals that have really transformed my heart and how I feel about love, and it's truly my favorite type of love to feel. You guys, I would love to hear your stories, your personal stories about if you've been in a Pisces Scorpio relationship before. Leave it down in the comments. I would love to read about it. And don't forget to smash the sacred 3, the like, the subscribe, the bell, so we can stay connected. And I think my friend Denise at Puro Astrology will be reacting to my video, so that's pretty exciting. Alright, you guys, I will see you in the next one. Mina, tell you.
So if you want to know why Scorpio and Pisces are so keen on each other, or if you're curious about the dynamic that goes on in a Pluto-Neptune relationship, this is the video for you. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Denise. I'm an astrologer, but when I'm not doing readings, I like to make these little informative videos to help people incorporate astrology into their everyday life. I put out videos every single week, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, I invite you to hit that subscribe button and, check out my videos every week. And in today's video, we're going to be addressing the issues that come up in Pisces Scorpio relationships. You could take this as kind of like a synastry video or like a compatibility video, but overall I'm going to be talking about Pisces and Scorpio together and how come I think they are such a good pairing. Okay, so first I have to address this because I know somebody's going to ask, Denise, is this for the sun? Is this for the moon? Is this for the rising? What is this for? This is just for the general energy. If you will know, if you are a Scorpionic Plutonic person, you're gonna know I'm talking to you. If you are a Neptune person, a Pisces person, you're gonna know I'm talking to you. You're gonna know right away as soon as I get into the video. You don't have to be a Pisces sun, you don't have to be a Pisces moon. If maybe you have Neptune conjunct your ascendant, Neptune conjunct your sun, conjunct your moon, Venus, all of those things are going to apply. This is Pluto that I'm talking about, and Neptune or Scorpio and Pisces, okay? So now that that's out of the way, let's get into the video. So whenever you're talking about Scorpio, remember that Scorpio is ruled by Mars and Pluto. And whenever I talk about Scorpionic people, I generally also mean Plutonic people, people with Pluto high in their chart. So people who have Pluto or Scorpio as a very important part of their chart are going to be dealing with themes of vulnerability and control. And the reason why Scorpios are so obsessed with being in control is because they are very afraid of being vulnerable. They don't want people to hurt them because they know that they actually have a very tender heart. And because of that, you know, they're water signs. And it's kind of difficult for Scorpio to be a water sign because they are so tough. Remember, they're ruled by Mars, and that's a warrior archetype. So they are kind of that warrior archetype, but in water. So it's not very comfortable in that element, right? And so in order to protect itself, because remember that water is always going to be vulnerable because it is very fluid and very easy to injure, essentially. That's what water is, right? So because of this, Scorpio has to put on a shell, has to put on some type of armor to protect itself from being injured. So Scorpios are, in a sense, they're always on guard. And they are going to be attracted to the other water signs, but Pisces in particular, the other water signs being Cancer and Pisces, but Pisces in particular is co-ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. But here I'm focusing more so on Neptune. And the thing is that Neptune is a planet that makes everything very dissolved. So Pisces doesn't really have boundaries. So Pisces doesn't really have protection. And Pisces, at their very core, their archetype at the worst, most unhealthy level is the archetype of a victim, right? Pisces people and Neptune people have that stereotype of being either they victimize themselves or they are victimized by others. And Scorpio notices this, and they notice it for two reasons. The first reason they notice it is because they being the warrior archetype as well, they want to protect people who are defenseless. And remember we said that Neptune makes everything dissolve. So your boundaries are dissolved when you're a Pisces person. So you could very easily be infiltrated or injured by others. And unlike Cancer, Cancer can also easily be injured. But Cancer, they're feisty little crabs, you know? I've always said this. I think that especially Mars and Cancer, Cancer is a very scrappy sign. Like, yes, you can go and mess with the Cancer and the Cancer is gonna cry, but before they cry, they're gonna bite you back. And so that's why I don't necessarily see Cancer and Scorpio as going along very well together, because when Scorpio and Cancer get into a battle, it's just like they're biting themselves back and forth, back and forth. And Scorpio might be more subdued and not have like a volatile emotional reaction that Cancer would have. You know, Cancer, you guys know you throw your tantrums. And Scorpio might not do that, but Scorpio will have like a psychological battle with you, and that's how they'll get you back. And Cancer will be so hurt by it because they're another water sign, right? And Pisces, on the other hand, when Pisces is injured or when Pisces is in a fight, Pisces has more of a tendency to break down and just cry or leave or just leave their body or something like that. Pisces isn't necessarily going to fight back. And Scorpio knows this because Scorpio is a psychologist, a detective, so they know how other people operate. Before Scorpio approaches you, they're going to pretty much know how you are already, and they won't approach you for like a romantic relationship if they don't feel comfortable with you, if they don't feel safe with you. Scorpio needs to feel very safe in order to allow their heart to come out and to be vulnerable with somebody else. And for that reason, they're attracted to people who they feel aren't going to hurt them. And Pisces has this thing where Pisces Venus is exalted in Pisces. So Pisces love is supposed to be, you know, the most highest form of love that you can experience as a person if you have Venus in Pisces, or if you are loved by a Venus in Pisces. They love you with a love that is the highest form. They are always going to see the best in you. So Scorpio already has an understanding of how Pisces is, of how Pisces is not going to hurt them back, how Pisces is going to retreat rather than attack them if they're ever in a disagreement, in a fight. Because, you know, people fight. People in relationships fight. It doesn't matter if you love each other so much. Every relationship has fights, even if you have a really good relationship. Don't let anybody tell you that people don't fight. If you're in love, you don't fight. That's not true. You're going to fight. The important thing is to fight the right way and not hurt each other. And so Cancer, because Cancer is very emotionally volatile and reactive. Cancer is reactive because remember, Cancer is protecting their core self, their ego. So Cancer, in order to protect themselves, they could tell you something really mean in the heat of the moment. They'll just destroy you. That's why I think that Cancer is a sign to be reckoned with. And there's this quote that always reminds me of Pisces. It's a quote about how it's very easy to love something lovely, but it's very difficult and a higher form of love when you love somebody who is imperfect, or who isn't lovely, or who is monstrous in a way. And Scorpio, especially Scorpio suns, have this, I think all of Scorpios, but particularly the sun, I feel that they feel like they're bad, like there's something wrong with them, like because they go through such intense emotions and they have dark thoughts sometimes. It's natural, you know, they're ruled by Pluto. Pluto rules like sewers and hell and death. Like these are dirty, dark, bad things that are being ruled by Pluto. And Pluto rules Scorpio. So Scorpios are experiencing and living a difficult life, and it can cause them to feel like they are not worthy of a pure love, of purity, because they spend so much time, like, not to be rude, but like in the gutter, so to speak. Scorpios can sometimes have very difficult, painful lives, and people who experience hard things can get this idea of themselves that they can never have like a normal love, or like somebody who's good cannot love them. Scorpio can feel that way about themselves, and they could kind of get into this like cycle of, I feel like I'm bad, so I'm gonna do bad things because like I can't be good anyway, like might as well just do bad because I can't be good. And they can get into this cycle. So they can go through dark moments in their lives, and that can cause them to feel like they don't deserve, or they'll never have a pure, good love. Here comes Pisces. Pisces has this idea of themselves that at the end of the day, they just want to be good. More than anything, they just want to be good. And because of this, Pisces can show love to somebody who has done something bad, or who is a bad person, or somebody who has gotten into trouble, or somebody who is just like a bad boy, so to speak, you know? So Pisces can have this pure love for this person no matter the mistakes that they've made in the past or the bad things that they've done in the past. They could love them. And Pisces, Mina got into this in her video. She said something about how they could mutually heal each other. And I think that is very possible. And I also think that it's very difficult, in my opinion, to heal yourself through somebody else. I think that you heal yourself by yourself, but somebody's love can make you feel whole in a way that makes you heal yourself. And that is the way that I see it. So essentially, the reason why Scorpio loves Pisces so much is because they know inherently that Pisces is not going to hurt them, and that no matter what they've been through in the past or what they do, Pisces is always going to love them. What I've noticed is that particularly Scorpio sun males, so like the masculine planets, maybe not the moon. The moon is gonna have like those broody feelings inside, but the sun has a tendency to behave in a more scorpionic way, so to get into dangerous things, right? And I've noticed that particularly the sun males, they do go for women that they look, I can also see Virgo there too, because Virgo also has like that whole like virgin archetype situation going on, and they like girls or women who don't look dangerous to them, because they themselves are dangerous and they don't want somebody who's also going to be dangerous. Pisces can also have this whole like savior complex situation going on. So Pisces can feel that they have to save Scorpio from all the bad things that they get themselves into. As I've said, like it's more the Scorpio suns and maybe the risings, but possibly more so the sun, because the sun is very like, it's outgoing and dynamic, and they have a tendency to get into trouble. So Pisces can have this feeling like, I'm going to love you so much that you're going to behave yourself. You're not going to do those bad things anymore. You're not going to hurt yourself. And they could get into this dynamic where the Pisces like victimizes themselves. I think somebody said this in Mina's video, like, why didn't you include the negative? Well, she was focused, her video wasn't like, oh, let's expose this, like it wasn't meant to be a negative video. So now let's get into the negative part. Let's get into the negative dynamic that could go on between Pisces and Scorpio, because it's definitely there. Pisces can be a victim. They could play the victim role. They could put themselves in a victim role and take a lot of abuse, essentially. And Scorpio, particularly the sun, maybe Mars, can have a tendency of these volatile behaviors that are meant to manipulate. Because again, whenever you're talking about Pluto, there's going to be some manipulation going on. And of course, this is not every Scorpio sun. Like this is an unhealthy behavior, right? And being a victim and victimizing yourself would be an unhealthy Pisces behavior. So if you put two people that are in unhealthy states and you put them together and they're playing out their negative archetypes, then yeah, you're going to have somebody who's the victim and the other one who's the aggressor. And they could definitely feed on each other in that way, because Pisces has this tendency of being like, no matter what you do, I'm going to show you that my love is pure. And no matter how bad you are and how horrible you are to me, how horrible you are to the world, no matter how desolate you feel and how low and in the ground you feel, I'm always going to love you. And Pisces will do anything to prove that to you, to show you that they love you no matter where you are in life, or you know, or how bad you are, how bad you feel and how bad you behave. Pisces is still going to love you at the end of the day. And Scorpio does have a tendency to test you. I don't know if you guys know this, but Scorpio tests people to see how loyal they are, how much they love them. So because Scorpio, as I said, especially the sun, can have a tendency to feel like, oh, I'm not worthy of this pure love. I'm not worthy of love. So this person doesn't even love me. So let me just like do this like messed up thing, and they're gonna leave anyway. That's what Scorpio like thinks, like, oh, this person's gonna leave, so I'm gonna do this messed up thing to see if they leave. And then they don't leave, and they don't leave, and they keep not leaving, and eventually you're like, oh, this person isn't gonna leave. And then they could like cool off and stop being so messed up. But they could do that. They definitely can do that, because Scorpio will test you. They'll test your loyalty and see how deep your love is for them. Because as we've already said in a bunch of videos, like Scorpio loves so deeply. Their biggest goal is to be one with another person, to melt souls with somebody else. And Pisces wants that as well. All the water signs want that. They want to be very close. But the closeness is different, because Pisces wants to completely disappear. Oh, and let me talk about the final thing. The other reason why Pisces and Scorpio are so like this is because think about Pisces in their negative state. They have a tendency of leaving their bodies, leaving responsibility, just completely becoming a spirit. That's what I call it, like becoming a spirit. They want no responsibility. They want to just float around like a spirit. And who in the zodiac, aside from Saturn and Capricorn, wants control? Pluto wants control. And you have a person, Pisces, who wants to completely have no responsibility and just let go. They want no control whatsoever. They don't want to be in control of anything. They don't even want to be in control of themselves. And then you have somebody else who wants to be in control of themselves and somebody else. They would like to be in control of somebody else, because then that somebody else can't hurt them. So then it's a perfect dynamic. One person doesn't want any responsibility and the other one wants all of the control. So of course that works out perfectly, especially if you're in if you're in an unhealthy state. So you're going to be drawn to one another. Are there good things about Pisces and Scorpio coming together? Definitely. I think that the level of trust that a Pisces and a Scorpio can accomplish is unmatched, especially because Pisces has that tendency of not biting back whenever you're fighting. And my friend Nina calls this Scorpio double standard. She says that I crack the Scorpio double standard because, as I've said, I've had like important Scorpio moon people in my life, and whenever I'm fighting with them, this is a pro tip from the Scorpio Whisperer to you. If you're ever fighting with a Scorpio moon, and you really love them and they're fighting with you, don't tell them anything back. If they say something hurtful, just don't say anything hurtful back, because if you hurt them, like, that's it. And whenever they're telling you hurtful things, they don't actually mean it. Like, they don't mean it. They're just trying to hurt you because you hurt them. And just don't tell them anything mean back, and you'll win their love. If you get into arguments with them and you stay and you're nice, then you're gonna win their love like forever. So that's my biggest tip. That is the Scorpio double standard. They can tell you something mean in an argument because you accidentally hurt them, but don't you tell them something mean back, because that will really hurt them way more than it hurts you, unless you're a Scorpio moon too, in which case, like, that's rough. Scorpio also has this feeling that, I've talked about this before as well in the Scorpio Mars video. They feel like they want to protect those that can't protect themselves. And Pisces, one of their archetypes is that of being very, weak, because they are so kind that they don't defend themselves sometimes. And so Scorpio sees this, and Scorpio wants to help. Scorpio wants to protect the Pisces. It's like that whole, damsel in distress situation, sort of. And Scorpio does want to be, the knight for the Pisces person. So this can happen too. And Scorpio, the reason why they are so drawn also to protecting Pisces is because Scorpio is like obsessed with seeing the darkness in the world. Like, they are experts at knowing the dark things in the world. And Neptune people, Pisces people, see the world through rose-colored glasses. So they're very trusting, they trust others, and they're very open, and they're very innocent because they feel that everybody is like them. Like, they feel like, oh, everybody, like, why would somebody want to hurt me? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. So Scorpio is like, what do you mean? Like, people are bad. People do bad things. And for that reason, Scorpio wants to protect like this innocent little Pisces person who sees the world through rose-colored glasses. So that's another reason why they're attracted to people who have Neptune or Pisces. And Cancer is very sweet, but Cancer is not very... Cancer will protect themselves. It's a crab. It has a shell. And this shell is like this tough exterior. They just want somebody to love them. They want somebody to hug them and take care of them. But first and foremost, they're going to protect themselves. And if they let you in and you poke them in their little crab belly, they're going to like pinch you with their little pincers. Like, they immediately are. They're very quick. They're very emotionally reactive, Cancers. And Pisces, they're ruled by Neptune. They're slow as hell. Like, you could say something rude to a Pisces and they'll just be like, they don't understand that you've injured them or that you're trying to injure them. They just don't understand it. That's just not how they operate. So I think it's a really good relationship dynamic between two healthy individuals. A healthy Pluto person and a healthy Neptune person they can be best friends forever. They can be soulmates for life. And so that's what I think, guys. I think that Scorpios and Pisces people make really wonderful relationships. They could really trust each other and they could let each other in. Pisces is very open and wants to melt with somebody else. And Scorpio wants that too. They really want that intimacy. And imagine Scorpio being intimate with somebody that isn't going to hurt you, that you 100% know is never going to hurt you, because no matter how much you guys get into things, they've never hurt you. They prove you time and time again that they're not going to hurt you, that they're always going to be there, that they're not going to leave. Scorpio loves that shit. So that's the video for today, guys. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, anything else that you want to know about Scorpios, I'm unofficially dubbing myself the Scorpio Whisperer. So if you have any other Scorpio questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of the video. who else do you think is super compatible with Scorpio? I also kind of like Virgo for that same reason. Virgo and Pisces are on that axis of like self-service, not self-service, of service. So they want to be of service to others. They're very other focused. And I also like Libra for Scorpio, but Scorpio likes intensity. So they're gonna want water. So even though Virgo I think is really good, and Libra also, because they're focused on the partner. But Virgo can be, as we know, Virgos can be a little bit critical. So Scorpio is not gonna be too keen on the criticism, and Libra can maybe not be like heavy enough for the Scorpio, because Scorpio likes the darkness. They like that the Pisces has suffered. They want to save them from that suffering. They don't want them to suffer anymore, but they like that they've suffered. They want to know that they're saving somebody, because they have this like, they want to save somebody who's in danger. It's just how they are. They're very like chivalrous sort of people, the Scorpios, even though, they could be bad, but so can everybody else. But yeah, that's the video for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
What is the dark side of the zodiac's most romantic magical match? The dark side of Pisces and Scorpio coming together romantically. We're going to talk about it in depth today because you asked for it, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, my name is Mina and I'm an astrologer who loves talking about love compatibility. If that's something you like, don't forget to smash subscribe so we can stay connected. We can keep hanging out and talking about astrology. And yes, today we're going to, by your request, subscribers, thank you for answering the poll, by the way. I really value your opinion and I want you to feel like you're a big part of this channel because you truly are. And you guys asked for Part 2 of Scorpio Pisces romantic compatibility, and I think that's great. In my first video, I focused on the positive aspects because it's truly a beautiful connection. It's unmatched in my opinion. It's so special. It's deep, it's intimate, it's passionate, it's psychic. It's just a great dynamic here. But yes, there is a dark side to it, and I did not discuss that in my first video, and some of you guys kind of got mad at me because I just focused on the positive. I'm sorry, I just love Scorpio Pisces together. But today I am going to listen and we're going to focus on the negative parts of this pairing. So if you haven't already, I'm going to try to put it up here, watch part 1 because this will make more sense. Alright you guys, we're just going to dive into it. Where can Pisces and Scorpio go wrong? Well, let's review a little bit. It is a very, very psychic connection. It's two people coming together in a very emotionally deep bond with one another. Mutable water Pisces with Neptune and Jupiter there. Neptune dissolving boundaries and just so ethereal. Jupiter releasing the emotional big picture of someone. Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto, very passionate, very aggressive in love, and very emotionally intelligent, very psychological, and doesn't trust easy. So Pisces is really good at getting Scorpio to lower their walls, and in turn Pisces is really good at loving Scorpio unconditionally no matter what negativity comes their way. They're really loyal to the end at their best. So let's get into it. Where can this beautiful connection go wrong sometimes? Well, to start out, Pisces energy can be very gullible, okay? It is very trusting, and what's interesting is that it's the most evolved water sign, so it should know better. It has the intuition of Cancer, and it also has the instincts of Scorpio. The problem is Pisces people will see red flags, but they don't always listen to red flags. They always are more prone to forgive, and Pisces people, even if they see red flags, are prone to give people the benefit of the doubt because they're ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is just such a glass half full optimistic planet, and they want to give people a chance to prove them wrong. They don't want to be right about red flags, so even if they see what's coming, they don't listen to the signs, and this can just leave them open to be manipulated. And Scorpio at its worst can be very manipulative, and you won't even know what hit you. And the way that Scorpio can do this to Pisces is take advantage of them being so gullible. And how they do this, they can kind of threaten to take their love away, because Scorpio love is addicting. It's so passionate, it's so focused on you, and once you're hooked, it's hard to think about your life without that intense love coming your way. And Pisces, once it's deeply involved in Scorpio, really gets addicted to Scorpio's style of love. And if Scorpio can like threaten to take that away, Pisces isn't going to be like another Scorpio. Another Scorpio or even a Capricorn will be like, okay, take it away, let's see what happens. They're not going to, you know, play the game in that way. They're just going to be like, okay, what do you want me to do to fix this? Don't take your love away, I'll do anything. That's where, you know, Scorpio can get a little sinister, and it can like be very manipulative and get Pisces to do certain things that Pisces would normally want to do, because Pisces doesn't want to lose Scorpio. And a lot of times Scorpio people can justify this behavior, especially if they feel that they're protecting Pisces, because Pisces has a tendency to be used by everyone because there's very weak boundaries with Neptune there, and people can just step all over Pisces and a Pisces will just not fight back. And Scorpio can just get super aggravated by this because they're such a strong sign and they don't let people walk all over them like that. So they can kind of justify this behavior in their heads, saying, well, I had to threaten gullible Pisces because they would have gotten used by this person, and the only way that I got them to stop, you know, talking to this person is to threaten to leave them or to threaten to stop loving them. So it's really interesting. Like, they can use it for Pisces good, but they could also use it for a myriad of reasons, but just find a way to justify it, because Scorpio is extremely psychologically intelligent. They just understand how people's emotions work, and like they understand people's targets, because Scorpio is like a sniper, so they understand deeply what people are aiming for and intentions. And if they feel like someone in Pisces life has bad intentions, they will manipulate Pisces for their own good. And maybe sometimes they'll manipulate Pisces just for fun or for other reasons that are more selfish. It's all mixed up and it's hard to decipher. And in turn, Pisces can use this as emotional currency, because they might pick up on what Scorpio is doing, even if they don't stop them. And they know that Scorpio feels guilty, and Pisces will use this guilt to get over on the Scorpio sometimes, because Pisces has such a pure emotional image in the Scorpio's mind, angelic image. So Pisces will in turn, it's kind of like checkmate, will use that innocence to swim around Scorpio, to maybe, I don't want to say cheat, but just like to do things that Scorpio wouldn't agree with, because Scorpio is a very fixed sign and usually very, very loyal, whereas Pisces can be loyal to Scorpio because Scorpio just inspires the best in Pisces. But Pisces is a mutable sign, you guys, and hey, I'm talking about myself here too. I'm throwing myself under the bus, and sometimes as loyal as we can be, we can also start to swim away if we feel a certain way, like our emotions are very odd, and if we feel like unhappy, we can stay for a long time and suffer. It's true, we suffer for love, but we have a breaking point. It might be like a really like interesting breaking point, like, oh wow, it took you 10 years to leave, but once we hit that, we will just swim away, and it will be like we were never there before. It will just feel like we're ghosts. Okay, so it can really be shocking, because Scorpio like is a sign that endures. It wants to stay, and even if they're unhappy, it's really hard for Scorpio to break away. You know, if they broke away from someone they love, it must have been like a really good reason most of the time, because they're fixed water. They're built to emotionally stay. They can be unhappy and stay if they're emotionally attached to you, because it's really hard for them to emotionally attach to someone or to trust someone. So they're less likely to leave. They might threaten to leave, but they're way less likely to leave than Pisces, unfortunately. And yeah, like I was saying before, Pisces understands that it has currency with Scorpio, because Scorpio barely trusts anyone. So even if Pisces doesn't threaten Scorpio, it kind of like uses that to justify in their minds, you know, well, Scorpio trusts me, and you know, sometimes Scorpio manipulates me, so that's why I don't care if I'm swimming around these boundaries and I'm keeping stuff from Scorpio, because you know, they do this to me. And it's just very, it's very like chess. It's like emotional chess here, but it's very like under the surface, because Pisces is more traditionally the good guy. So when they do something sneaky, it's kind of harder to pinpoint than it would be with Scorpio, because Scorpio is more like the bad guy, the bad girl archetype. And even if they're quiet and just very intensely observing, they're not known for purity like Pisces is. So yeah, Pisces can really run all over Scorpio. But the problem is, you guys, if Scorpio catches you, they will not let that go unpunished, and they will have a crossroads. They will say, well, I'm going to leave because I'm a fixed water sign and I value loyalty, or again, checkmate, I'm going to take this opportunity to take advantage of the power imbalance. I'm going to take some power. I'm going to stay and make Pisces feel really guilty for lying to me, and they're going to do whatever I say now. I'm going to have a greater emotional hold and control over them. So you can see how these dynamics can get kind of twisted. And you guys, it's important to understand about Pisces that Pisces is very emotionally adaptive, okay? It is mutable water, and anything mutable adapts, changes to fit into the environment. So if Pisces is around the Scorpio long enough, they could pick up, and like a mirror, okay, they can learn Scorpio's manipulation tactics and use it right back at them, with Scorpio not even knowing, because they don't associate that type of behavior with the Pisces. So yeah, that can be something, because Neptune can function like a mirror. You guys, it's really important to understand that the hardest thing about a Scorpio-Pisces connection is that they become so emotionally attached and deeply connected that even if they leave, the relationship doesn't last. Scorpio leaves Pisces or Pisces leaves Scorpio, that they're still connected on some level. It's like a connection that never ends, no matter how bad the breakup was, no matter what they did to each other, especially if they spent a significant amount of time together. It's really hard to completely cut the cord here between these two people, and it even carries over to their new relationships. So especially from Scorpio to Pisces, so let's just say Pisces has a new Scorpio, and the old Scorpio knows that Pisces is still connected to them. They can sense this because they still have this psychic connection. They know that Pisces will still do anything for them. So Scorpio could reach out to Pisces and really need them, and ask them for emotional comfort, and Pisces will feel like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? I can't say no. So they will give in. And do you think new Scorpio is going to be like, cool, talking to old Scorpio? Oh my god, no. New Scorpio is not going to be cool with this. So you can imagine how complicated and messy this can get. And from the Scorpio's end, if Pisces reaches out to Scorpio and needs Scorpio, so do you think that Scorpio is going to be like, sure, well, it's a little bit complicated because Scorpio is more on the committal sign. It's a fixed water sign. So I'd say 50-50 here. Scorpio could say, sorry, Pisces, love you, but I'm in a committed relationship. I don't want to be disloyal. But, because that connection was so strong, you guys, they might tell Pisces no, but they might still end up coming through for the Pisces, because it's just, like I said, such a hard bond to break, and it can make your future relationships extremely complicated because of this. Alright, you guys, one of my subscribers asked, what's the difference between the sun and the moon in these compatibility videos? And it's really important that I tell you that these compatibility videos are meant for pure energy reads, because it could be any placement in your chart. You could have a Scorpio sun, you can have a Scorpio moon, you can have a Pisces sun, you can have a Pisces moon, Scorpio rising, Pisces rising. It really depends what's going on in the chart, and each placement offers a different variation of this energy. So if you're a Pisces sun, let's take the sun and the moon. If you're a Pisces sun, Scorpio moon, it's important to understand that the sun is going to be the more aggressive energy in this Pisces Scorpio dynamic, because the sun is our biggest star in our chart. It's a huge energy generator, so that's going to be energy that's very apparent to the outside world. Whereas our moon is much more private. Not everyone gets to know our moon unless it's in like a very public spot in your chart, like the first house or the 10th house. So you got to keep that in mind. One's more aggressive, more yang, and one's more yin, more receptive, taking stuff in. So the Scorpio moon in the situation, you guys have to understand, watch my video on Scorpio moon. Scorpio moon is the most quiet yet potent Scorpio placement, okay? You could not even understand that someone has a Scorpio moon unless you have their birth date, their birth time, and you know for a fact that this is their birth details and you're looking at their chart. They could be air heavy, fire heavy, and have a Scorpio moon underneath all of that. Scorpio moon is the most hidden of hearts. It's very tight-lipped, and it does not let down their walls easy. Even harder to get to know a Scorpio moon than it is to get to know a Scorpio sun emotionally. That's what you have to understand. So the Pisces sun is going to have to be extremely patient, because they're going to have to spend more time dissolving those Scorpio moon walls. They're going to first have to get past the rising sign, the sun. And maybe who knows how long it's going to take to get to that Scorpio moon core. It's just so complicated, you guys, which is why synastry and, astrology is something that needs to be studied in depth. And if you guys want readings, I am taking readings right now. But anyway, I hope you loved this video. I really enjoyed talking about this connection. I still think it's great, because if the Scorpio and Pisces love each other, they can really overcome these dark hurdles. They can learn not to take advantage of one another, and they could just love one another for those qualities, those unique qualities that bring them together. So let me know what you think about the dark side of Scorpio Pisces. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.